Now, military, they become stooges. They are now just completely remote controlled by the government of the day. Military people are they are at wedding ceremonies, garden wedding ceremonies. You will find them birthday parties. They are manning security.
A military guy was shot and killed just because of a half plot of land in Kasoa.
The system says that we no longer want vigilantism, yet you can accommodate land guards. Vigilantism, we say we no longer want. Now the government has found a way to convert the vigilantes into national security apparatchiks. Today in Accra, I'm telling you to come to, you see the population is increasing.
Yeah.
To get a piece of land to build a school or hospital, you won't get.
We cannot actually sit at the comfort of our homes and know who owns a particular land, not to get into trouble with the land.
There are 3 things you should do when you want to acquire land.
Lands that belong to health facilities have been encroached on. Schools have been encroached upon. Today, government says that we are doing Agenda 111. Do you know one of the critical issues preventing it is because of land? To get a piece of land is the problem. It's time for our military to take a second look at this issue, how they engage the public.
Yes.
Our military do not deserve that.
The Ghana Armed Forces has identified Lance Corporal Danso Michael as the soldier tragically killed in a land dispute incident at Millennium City near Kasoa. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, April 30th, 2024, involved an alleged attack by one Ben Lord Ababu, believed to be a land guard. According to Ghana Armed Forces Department of Public Relations press release, Lance Corporal Danso Michael and his colleagues were investigating a land dispute at Millennium City, where Lance Corporal Umar Abdul Rahman owned a half plot of land. Listen to the twist. It wasn't actually the one who died that owned the land. He accompanied a friend. So the Millennium City police had instructed all parties, so there was a dispute, had instructed all parties to refrain from activities on the land until the issue was resolved. However, during the investigation, an altercation ensued with individuals allegedly working on the disputed land. While at the Millennium City police station to report the issue, Lance Corporal Danso and his colleagues encountered the alleged owner of the land, accompanied by 2 others believed to also be land guards. A confrontation ensued, during which shots were fired, tragically resulting in the death of Lance Corporal Danso Michael. The police intervened, disarmed the shooter, and made an arrest. The deceased soldier's body was taken to the 37 Military Hospital morgue. The Ghana Armed Forces expressed its condolence to the family, colleagues, and loved ones of Lance Corporal Danso Michael. They assured the public of ongoing collaborations with the police to investigate the incident further, and promised to provide updates as investigations progress. The press release, signed by Brigadier General Agri Kwashi, Director General of Public Relations of the Ghana Armed Forces, strongly condemned the unprovoked attack and reiterated the commitment of the Ghana Armed Forces to uphold law and order in communities. He urged citizens to resolve dispute peacefully and lawfully to prevent such tragic incidents. The issued by the Department of Public Relations General Headquarters, Burma Camp. That's the story. Robbie, let me come to you first. Land disputes, military officer involved. I mean, for some time now, there've been a lot of bad treatment meted to military, or should I say the security services and all of that. I don't know where you want to start from.
Well, for me, you know, it's a multifaceted issue. I mean, but on this particular story, it has a little bit different bit, because apparently a soldier has purchased a land. They say half plot. And then I think they wanted to do some work on it. Yeah. And you know, this issue that happened in Accra, issues with land guards and all that. Yeah. And I think several times they've been back and forth, and the issue had to even be taken to the police station. Yeah. So work was supposed to be halted. But then it seems the military officers took hint that somebody is already
Was on the
developing the
land,
land,
yeah.
so they actually ran to the place.
see.
And when he was also going, he went with some of his colleagues because he knows what was going to be. They are fully aware of what was going to be happening, the disagreements back and forth. So I think when they went to that place and then asked the gentlemen that they should cease and let them go back to the police and then find out what the status of the whole issue was. The gentlemen, I think they were actually resisting, but they actually took the lead and went there
to the police station.
to the police station trying to inquire. And I think they got this particular gentleman who shot the fire. He's a sub chief.
Sub chief in the community. Yeah.
And I think there was this back and forth there as well. And he actually,
trigger.
opened fire on their vehicle, and it caught up with the soldier. You see, we find ourselves. You see, I want to approach this issue brutally on. The things happening in this country. Look, I think if you look at our military and security services, what we have turned them to is very bad. That's why I said this issue is quite different. But if you look at how even our military, the police service, how we use them in recent times is very terrible. What brought about this issue of land guard we are hearing? It's been there for some time now. And why are we seeing it this way? Government has created this problem. Governments upon governments created these problems that we are having. Look, the Greater Accra Council, the Chieftaincy Council, they believe that their lands are taken over by other people who are not indigent. And lands that were even released to the government for developmental purposes are now sold to individuals. And that is what is bringing these problems. If you have lands given out to the government by the traditional authorities to embark on one developmental agenda or the other, and as time went on, any government that comes into place will decide to sell it to their people or people who, because you don't have the use of the land, give it back to the landowners. That doesn't happen. And it has been bringing a lot of problems. That's why when somebody buys a piece of land, even they'll create a joke that, their land for sale or small police case there inside. Because it's now we've now gotten to a system where
people fear
land. Even now, chiefs, the land is not even available again. They'll sell land to more than 10 people. And it's because the system created the mess. The system consists. Look, we can blame the citizens, that's fine. But the authority, which is the government of the day, they are to blame for all that is happening. Land issue. Look, I was reading an article some time ago. In the western part, it's not like they don't have piece of land, so they have vast lands. But you see, they have a system that regulates these things. An ordinary person cannot just own a plot like that. Those you see that they own acres of land. Go and find out what they go through. You hear one of these big musicians, this is the house that he owns. It covers this area. They go through a particular rigorous system
to
get these things, so that they believe that these things can create problems. They do not want that to happen. So all of them,
all
the entire system
involved
belongs to the government, the state. So you must go through a particular protocol to get it. Over here, everybody can own a piece of land in Ghana. Why wouldn't there be a problem? Every young person getting up today wants to also secure portion. So, look, a politician can even will a piece of land, a virgin land, forever to somebody. Look, you see, and these things may be funny, but look, I'm telling you, they are very serious issues. Look, until the whole country is exhausted, we won't rest. That we now know that there's no piece of land anywhere. Everybody has taken. Your children will come. It's already everywhere is occupied. You see, look, even here in Tamale, we are talking about this military guy issue, but I'm telling you that it's a general problem. Land has become a general problem. Go around even in our city today and see that even existing buildings have been sold out. Somebody who was never born before Nkrumah and Co. built those places. The person has come to buy the place, build his stores, build several things. Plots, lands that belong to health facilities have been encroached in. Schools have been encroached upon. One day you want to extend, but population is increasing. We need to build more schools in the future, more hospitals. We no longer think of any of those things. If our forefathers were not thinking straight, they won't portion those things. Today in Accra, I'm telling you to come to, you see the population is increasing. To get a piece of land to build a school or hospital, you won't get.
To be serious.
That is why you realize that they are breaking down existing infrastructure that are even healthy to say they want to modernize the city. Nobody is thinking straight again. Now, ordinary citizens, you turn them against each other and they are killing themselves because of the land, because of poor leadership. This one you talk about it, somebody say we're doing politics with it. But you see, it's now part of us. We will one time get, population continuously builds up. Today we may be 31 million or 30 million. Nigeria, as we speak today, is about 300 million people.
Wow.
You see the reason why they are moving out of their country, getting to different countries. You go to every country, you find a Nigerian there. Because the system can no longer take care of everybody. It will come to Ghana. Ghanaians will leave this country to search for different abode. You see? They are living. Because the system is not just thinking straight and they are not thinking of tomorrow. Even, let's say that I don't want to build a house. I just want to build a hospital for Ghana. Today, government says that we are doing Agenda 111. Do you know one of the critical issues preventing it is because of land? To get a piece of land is a problem. So, have piece of land, plot. Me like this, I don't have a plot to talk about a land. Just a half piece. I shot somebody dead. But I was saying that what we have turned our military to, now military, they become stooges. They are now just completely remote controlled by the government of the day. Military people are they are at wedding ceremonies, garden wedding ceremonies. You will find them birthday parties. They are manning security. You look almost everything.
So you think
is that the purpose of the military?
Because of that, they've lost respect, people.
Why? Today, if you like, don't worry. As time goes on, you see they will become just like the police. You see, the police has become so much useless in everything.
Oh, really?
Oh, you are not. Why? I say this on the radio every day. I say, look, you see this, they will just become like the police very soon.
Wow.
Because the system says that we no longer want vigilantism. Yet you can accommodate land guards. Well, how are they different from the vigilantes? So, vigilantism, we say we no longer want. Now, the government has found a way to convert the vigilantes into national security apparatchiks. And going around causing all kind of problems all over the place. So I'm telling you that on this issue of land grabbing, this is just a drop in the ocean. This one is just small. There's several issues of land grabbing.
That goes unreported.
Exactly. And we are, they are just swept out. You recall some time ago, Anas Arimeyao had an issue of land issue in Accra. And when he went there, the land people, they mass up on him and said, no, if he doesn't take time, they will assault him. He said, oh, he's Anas Arimeyao. They said, no, you are not Anas. Not only him, several. Kennedy Japan came and complained about land issue, and he even insulted a judge because of that. Land is a critical thing. Land, chieftaincy, what's it called? Religion. Even the religion doesn't cause more problems today in terms of fightings. It's just that people are soaked into it so much that we can no longer think straight. But it's not as if we fight over religion. But we fight over chieftaincy. We fight over chieftaincy is equally just. But this issue of land, we must watch it. We want to build more infrastructure. The population is growing. People are still sitting under trees to school. Why is it like that? Because we can't build schools.
Wow. AJ, you wanted to say something?
So on the issue of even getting lands to build schools and hospital, there's somewhere last year I went to Garo Timpani, that area, and they were building a hospital. The hospital is so far from the community, and I asked myself that why is it so far? Because if somebody is sick, you have to now rush the person to go to this place. Then, as he said, it boils back to me that even to get the land, to even build something like that, the community will say, no, we don't want it here, because they will tell you where they want it. And at the end of the day, they will still be the same people coming to complain that it's too far, it's this, it's that. But they were the same people that choose the place. But on the issue of land again, I read somewhere that there are 3 things you should do when you want to acquire land. First, as you have met the agent or whoever
is selling the land to
you, you make your inquiries with him personally, do all your inquiries with him and everything. Come back on a different day without the person. Ask around, because it's only those who are around that can really tell you the actual issue on the land. That someone can tell you that, oh, they sold it to this person, or it belongs to this person, or it belongs to that person. Then you can pick 1 or 2 documents and now go to the lands to confirm, even before you go ahead to buy the land. If you do all these things, it will be very difficult for you to get a land that is not really, let me say, safe to buy. Because if you do, yes, it might not be 100%, but at least it will save you some trouble for you losing money or to even lose your life.
Yeah.
So I think with that is what I have to say.
Okay. Without.
Who shot him?
A land guard.
A land guard.
A sub chief.
So he had an
and
ammunition.
it was even done in front of the police station.
So he shot him
In
with
front of
his own
gun. Yeah.
gun. So why was he walking around with a gun?
Yeah. So actually, what happened was that the police, the military guys were actually, ahead of them. They were at the police station already. So I'm sure he also heard about them and then prepared and came to meet them at the police station.
I don't understand. Like, why are you walking around with a gun? Broad daylight, right?
Yeah.
Not even in the darkness of the night, where we probably say it was for safety reasons. You were scared. You were trying to protect yourself. Why are you walking? This has become a very common thing, even in Tamale here. You see young people, like as young as 15, 17, walking around with guns, like in their pockets or in their cars, doing what with it? And we all know, sometimes when you have things like that with you, it easily provokes you.
Yeah.
It just has that
It's a
natural
catalyst.
aura. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand in the first place why you would be walking
it's just
around
like
with
when
a
you
gun.
have a macho brother. You easily get into fights.
You just go around causing troubles here and there.
Yeah.
So I think also, apart from the issue of the land too, I think there should be some sort of a policy. I don't know. Everything has been politicized in this country that it becomes difficult. People can easily just have access and own guns.
For me, I think the core of the issue has to do with our land tenure system in Ghana.
Okay.
In the 21st century, we cannot actually sit at the comfort of our homes and know who owns a particular land, not to get into trouble with the land. You cannot even. Sometimes you even go to the commission, and they won't be able to tell you whether the land is safe or not. So what are we doing as a people?
So you see, that's why I said that on the issue of land.
It's serious.
It's critical. You see, she was even talking about guns and all. We have even gone past these things now. Now, every boy that makes small notes puts a gun under his motor seat and is roaming around all over the place. But you see, we are grateful that the young people do not have that mindset of land grabbing for now. It will get to a time, it will come.
It will come. Yeah.
You see, I say it again and again that, look, the system has been messed up by leadership. Look, when we elect, sometimes they say, oh, don't blame leadership, blame the citizens. Look, if you have your sheep or your flock, look, the flock, they can go anywhere. But it takes a leader to still go in line. In the developed worlds, I make examples because we like to drag examples.
Yeah.
Look, it's not like they don't have bad citizens like us.
They do.
They have access to the gun system. U.S. is battling a serious issue of gun possession and gun usage, because you get you get your money, you acquire an ammunition or a gun, you license it for your own personal security. They train you on how to use it, and it has been a critical issue. Almost every home, somebody owns a gun. They know it's a bigger problem for them. But you see, they are very swift. When something happens, they can easily bring it to order. Though there are several cases that are, unheard of, or maybe are not brought to justice yet. So if you in our country, they are the gate is so open to the extent that anybody can enter from any angle. So we have so many things. Look, in just some few days, they caught up somebody who was bringing guns into the country and concealed them in some shelter.
And the person was a major in the US and was now bringing it to Ghana.
So,
and I think what happened was, if he had successfully brought it, you wouldn't have heard that this person has done that. They would just cool the issue. But because he was caught from there, so right now all the things he had acquired will be seized. I'm sure his position and all of that. I'm not sure.
So if you look at, because we are getting into an election period, because she just mentioned, that's why I'm bringing it. But somebody having an access to gun who is not even related to any trained outfit, to have access to that and could fire military people. Do you know if the military wanted to retaliate? The number of people who would have been messed
that's
up.
The point. That's the point I was saying. I was mentioning because when they go do that, we the citizens will come back on them saying they are not.
So I am just encouraging that. Look, it's time for our military to take a second look at this issue, how they engage the public.
Yes.
How they engage the public is very essential. We have seen, if I have never traveled out of this country, but we have seen how military, how they compose themselves. The police can easily arrest a military officer on the way for traffic offenses and all that. And the military person is still calm. And over here, they'll go and say all these kind of drunkards within the military, bring them over and they are causing mess. These are I said that. Look, on radio, we say these things. We say these things straight to these guys to understand.
These are our men in uniform. So.
Oh no.
I've had an encounter like that.
Look, you see, men in uniform. It's not all of them who are psychologically balanced.
Okay.
Some of these guys are vagabonds who are just picked from the street. Look, let me tell you.
I've had an encounter with them.
We've schooled with people and we knew their mental status and how they got. So it's not all of them who are correct guys. So, it's better you just let them understand that. We are not comfortable with the way they have allowed leadership to misuse and tarnish the image of the service.
So you think that is a cause of, what happened to this?
Yes, those are just little... something happened in Ashaman before. We saw what happened in Ashaman.
Twice.
Look, and you saw how some residents accosted some 2 military guys and were assaulting them. The video is all over social media. No, they don't deserve that. Our military do not deserve that. It seems they are, apart from the judges, they are the second gods that we have on earth, because we have given them a particular pedestal. That's why they don't live in our midst. They give them a barracks and say that we want to contain them there. So what business do you have with a land issue? What business do you have with doing with a land issue? We are not saying that they shouldn't own property, but you see, they should be
regulations
on behalf, because we know that they have families. A military man has no business going to drag somebody over a land.
Yeah, and also let me just chip in. Like you rightly said, if they were actually operating on the level we've placed them, in the first place, they shouldn't have even gone on the site. I think there is a protocol they could have followed to even sit and summon that person or whoever is involved in it. But for them going there and he also going with a company, looks as if like they were already also going with that mindset that, okay, when we go, this might happen.
So let's do this.
If they actually had that respect, that power, I think they should have followed it in a different perspective and could even summon that person to come to them.
If the country, if we really, that's why I said we are not treating our military with respect. It's because we have just dragged them into almost everything. We are using them for Galamsey. They are dying through Galamsey shootings and all that. What is that? Look, we have systems where they say, okay, this is the barracks. We have some lands called military lands in this country. If our leadership were thinking straight, at least we know that they'll go on retirement. They'll become retired officers. What secure future is the government building up for our military people? Because as a military officer, you may have stepped on several toes. I mean, you are at a particular risk to the public. That's why they are giving residents, as they are practicing or field officers, they live there with their families. We can't go to the Kamina barracks, for example, to go and be dragging lands with them. So they've been catered for in that. But when the person goes off the service, how is he taking it? We have several lands. They said these are military lands. What are you using those lands for? Is it possible that at least an officer getting to retirement, you secure a particular portion for him, come and then settle with your family? Is that possible?
But I think not even getting the land alone, but there could be system in place where they could build a whole facility where for like a retirement home or something, so that even if there are charges, like it should be very minimal, so that
that means there's no greater transition for officers.
And I think with regards to that, it's not just only the officers. It's a bigger challenge with regards to pensions in Ghana and all of the people retiring from their work.
So instead of buying a home,
services,
instead of retiring and buying a home, which is better than going to drag lands when you are still in service. It gives you a look. It opens you up for a lot of risks.
But let's move forward. What can we do? Because remember, it's not just the services alone that have these issues. We as ordinary people have issues with land. What should be done to put a stop?
Right
and
now,
even when some of these issues go to court, it takes years.
Yes. Right now, I'll say it's even too late. Look, do you know the number of people who have acquired lands in this country? But I would have wished, if it were to be possible, all lands should be taken over from every citizen and compensated. You compensate the person, let the person know you don't own this land. If it's that the government wants to build the accommodation facilities for citizens to take over. We've seen that in several countries.
Yes.
You go there and then you pick up or you pay for it.
And you take.
Now, if government says, because look at the kind of even houses they are building. 2-bedroom. I mean, what's it called? 2 rooms, 3 rooms. And then you are destroying the land all over. Just because of some 3 rooms you want to put together, you have gone to shoot people. Trace and go and see the kind of house they'll build in those places. But they are able to put decent accommodations or 2-bedroom flats. So it can contain a family.
Come and pay.
3-bedroom, you go and then you acquire it and you take. I think Nkrumah's time actually saw some of these things coming. Yeah. That's why they started acquiring state lands. The land belongs to the government. They are handled by traditional authorities. Sometimes they say that the traditional authorities, they are for that. We used to have people, we still have them, they call Tindamba, who are people who are the landowners.
Landlords, yeah.
But we know that under our constitution, there's a greater responsibility and power given to the president, that the land belongs to the state. If the land belongs to the state must take ownership of these lands. So that nobody can say that I will go behind and acquire land. No, nobody can acquire land. If that is the case, nobody. So I wouldn't be bothered about going to buy a piece of land. I know that the government is putting things in place to set up accommodation for citizens so that we can all grab some. Those accommodations that are for factories or, jobs and other things, they are at the different side. We have areas they call that industrial areas. It's because those past leaders were thinking ahead. saying that no, this particular land we will not sell it to individuals, but it's for industrial purposes. You are coming with factories and all. There are particulars. You know that this is where we can access them. Different avenues. But what do we see today? Any individual you have an access to a land, and that is it. So I think that we must look at it again. Like I said, it's over. It's like it's a done deal. Now we can't call it back. It's already there. But leadership must think straight and look at it. Which other lands are they going to use? If you don't have use for it, please return them to the traditional owners. We know the traditional owners are also, some of them are not correct. You see, they say, oh, Tamale timber market is up for grabs. And then the people who are occupying it, they say, we've been occupying it for several years. If you want to sell it off to a private developer, you should have informed us whether we are interested in acquiring it or not. So we need it for government. It's given to market people to operate. You are selling it to a private developer. The people who are already accessing it, find out from them, can you acquire it?
Yeah.
But if you push them away, where are they going to stay?
Okay, so I don't know. Do you have anything to say about the land?
I think you can move on.
Because I know you you own farmlands.
Well, yes, I do own some farmlands, but like he rightly said, the population will keep increasing. So right now, for me as a farmer, the challenges I'm having is just urbanization and its effects on agriculture. So the farms or the farmlands we had has been taken over.
Okay.
Yes, they've sold those lands and
for development.
So we have to move it deep inside. So I think that's how we are also affected.
So I think one of the issues he raised when I tried coming in, I think in China, for instance, what they do is that instead of selling out farmlands like we do here, they have a facility. They rather build a facility. So sometimes you hear that in 24 hours they've built a story, in 48 hours they've built. They're not just building for building's sake. They build so that the citizens can acquire.
Okay.
So instead of you to go and buy farmlands and use, their farmlands are secure, but then they are able to acquisition
some lands
that they build well modernized story buildings that can accommodate a lot of people.
And that's why those places look more beautiful.
You don't need to have 10 billion or something before you can even acquire a space like that. They make it so affordable so that everyone can. It will even deter you from
going to
buying a land
troubles
because you would rather be like, oh, why not buy this? And you are going to live there for as long as you want. It's not as if like at the end of the day someone will come and tell you that your rent has not been paid, come and leave. You just buy it. I think Ghana is also trying to do something like that, but only that the rates are too high. It is more or less like it's only the rich that can afford those kind of homes. But if a similar thing is also done, so that this, at least, even if the lands are not enough for farming, there could be hydroponics and other aeroponics that can also be done to also help farmers to be able to. And that education isn't even there.
I think, just as Robicon keep mentioning, leadership is key, because some of these things, like, you have to see it ahead of time. Because when you don't do that, then you find yourself in the hole, and you find it difficult to come out again. Because as he said, now, like, almost all the lands in almost every city now are sold out. And
let me come back to what you said, that you need to see ahead.
Yeah.
If someone who is a farmer or who has knowledge in farming is picked as a agric minister, and the person now sees that, oh, this is the problem we are having, and you keep working on that and you try as much as possible, so that even the next person coming will know that, oh, this is a good idea.
He understands.
So let's go
continue
ahead
with it. Yeah.
But then I don't know why they do reshuffling or what, because
even if
you don't expect someone who has knowledge in petroleum to come
and
work.
be an agric minister.
So how would those then the problems keeps
So
piling.
I think that's where I mean leadership is
Bad
is
leadership
key.
and selfishness.
You get it, because sometimes like we know what the solutions are, but because of our interest
Yeah.
or political interest, okay, everybody must chop.
Yeah.
You put people at places where
Yeah,
I mean they cannot perform.
Function.
When you know people who can actually do the job and do it very well,
But
but
just
because they don't
because-
belong to where you want them to belong to, I mean it's so I think that is one thing the Western worlds have been able to do very well, taking politics out of a lot of key developmental issues. Because at the end of the day, if you want to keep politicizing everything, we'll keep going back and forth, and nothing, will be done at the end of the day. But for me, I think, where we find ourselves, the Lands Commission has to be up and doing. Because in this 21st century, where technology is all over the place, one should be able to verify the true owner of a land, not to go and then be fighting about over lands and all of that. And somebody was saying somewhere
but Lands
that
Commission currently they are not even in the picture of sale of lands. I recall, I think was it last month or 2 ago, when we picked up information about the Tamale Metro Assembly engaged in this sale of lands. Tamale market stores and all that. Party people are grabbing spaces, and even a disabled man with a disability was pushed down by the regional women's organizer and all that. You see, in all of those things, Lands Commission, they are completely lost. They are not even. They are just there as. They are just spectators, and that is the sad part of it. But you see, it's just that we are just greed. It's just greed. Excessive greed has pushed us to where we are currently, because on lands and how people are trying to establish themselves through depends on the kind of house you live. That shows that you are a big man. That is what has brought us to this. We celebrate nonsense in this country too much. Some of us hardly pray. No matter your wealth, I don't give a hell about that. That's why I continuously have problems with leadership. Every time we are, either one or
back
two.
and forth.
Look, when it comes to education, look at our education sector. It tells you that leadership is nothing. How can you go and bring somebody who is a dentist to come and be education minister? You have removed that person again, took the person to energy ministry. You are in Doomso currently and you cannot talk about it. People who are qualified in that sector, knowledgeable, cannot have access to that. You talk about somebody say it's politics. What is that? Then you look, they'll just go and because you have contributed to the party coming to power, they
just
go
have
and
to,
Yes.
They'll give
and
you
that thing
this
is
position.
killing us as a country.
So
you know.
if we have issues with our land, look, you see, you are talking about this issue. It's just because there's no time, You see, we have gone to demolish residence for judges to say we are building National Cathedral. Look, Accra is congested. You are asking for the solutions. Let me tell you something. You see, in the northern part, we have vast lands that are virgin lands. We have not touched them yet. The same way if you take to the Savannah region, vast lands. We may be able to succeed as a country if we decentralize many of our administrations. Look, why? If I were to be a president, simply put, I will want to take maybe Ministry of Energy. I'll not put it in Accra. I'll put the headquarters somewhere in the Upper East region. Or we say we want to diversify. We'll go to solar. We want to add solar energy. We have a solar plant there. That gives us about 2.5 megawatts
of power.
I'll say, okay, I'm putting you there. You won't be in Accra again.
No.
The headquarters will be there. I'll say that when it comes to which other ministries, because some of them are even nonsense ministries. Look, if we say
Even
that
the agric ministry.
agric ministry,
What's it doing in Accra?
Agric
What are
ministry.
they farming there?
We'll tell you that, okay, we are bringing agric ministry to the northern part. It doesn't mean that they don't farm in the whole of Ghana, but we're bringing you to the northern part. You make use of the vast
The
lands.
virgin lands.
Anybody in this country that has anything to do with the agric ministry,
there.
please come to the northern region. they all go to park in Accra, whether there's space or not. Everyone wants to live in Accra.
And you see,
When there's flood, you said that we should spend. Look, you go and spend $43 million to dredge just a gutter. At the end of the day, we have heard that there's $1 million found in the minister's apartment. You are telling us that yes, she's been working for a long time. What sort of nonsense?
and you see, I think this decentralization will not only be the solution to the land issues, but a lot of other problems we are facing in this country.
When you spread them that way, it may not cure everything. But look, it attracts a lot of investors. It attracts a lot of development
to all the different places.
For instance, why? If the Agric Ministry is here, do you know the number of hotels that will make money out of it?
Or even agro businesses that will come around and
now fertilizer comes, somebody has hoarded the fertilizer and cross Burkina. Look,
going where?
Charlie, this country is some way. So I think that we might look. You want to build national cathedral. Accra is not the only space we have. It's a national asset, no be so. There are so many lands across the country. Why do I need to, pull down buildings that were built for judges to put a national cathedral? Today is still at the whole stage.
It's a whole
and
issue.
You have sunk a lot of millions of dollars into that particular project.
All right,
what
guys,
sense does
let's
it doesn't make sense. And most of the things in Ghana, honestly, it doesn't make sense.
And it wouldn't be surprising at the end of the day, they'll come and still cut those lands and sell again.